Message. Welcome back to the channel. This is JMatt. We got another video here. So we about to do round 2 of the Fox Soul Sisters, the Sister Circle. I don't even know what this is called, honestly. That's not what it's called. This is Out Loud with Claudia Jordan. And I think, ironically, Sister Circle, that might actually be a real show that's on Fox Soul. And the title of the video is The Queens Talk, Admitting Faults, and Dealing with Difficult People. So last time they didn't really do too much admitting of whatever they bring negatively to the table when it comes to relationships and dealing with men. And I think I was pretty fair, like I said before. So let's just check it out, man. Let's see what the ladies got to talk about in terms of their own faults and dealing with people in relationships and men. And man, let's get to it. Let's see what they got to say.
What I love more than anything else is that as a grown woman, you just made a very important statement. At the beginning of you saying all of those things was, I finally looked in the mirror and said, what was it that I could have done? And you learned from it. And I commend you, my sister, for coming back. You look better than ever. You know I love you. You get on my nerve like a little sister sometimes. You do. I know. Hold on to them lashes.
I commend
but I love
you too.
Tons, and we went through it. We did.
The first part.
Y'all had strain for a while.
Anybody look in the mirror, that's a good thing.
And sometimes I want to grab her and just, you know, right.
And by the way, all you ladies look beautiful.
Do what I can, but I love her.
Nobody's overdressed.
But what I love more than anything else is that she's learned to say, whenever something happens, I got to learn what's my part of it. That's growth. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I was talking about last time.
Oftentimes, Black women especially get criticized that we cannot say sorry. And we can't admit to being wrong, and we don't admit when something's wrong. I would like to prove the naysayers wrong right now and give them a Fox Soul Cocktails with Queens exclusive and go around the panel and we all admit a shortcoming, whether in a relationship or a personality thing that we know we have. I think that's a first.
Was they watching my reaction?
We do it. The people that look up to us,
they must have got a whole lot of inboxes like, hold on now.
And maybe start to do this because it can't always be everybody else, right? It can't always be everybody else.
So we having a come to Jesus moment?
We having a come to Jesus moment.
Please.
Okay. All right.
Go first.
Okay,
Me?
I can.
Right. We'll end with you.
For me, hands down, I should have married for love.
Are you admitting you didn't?
Oh, I did not. No, I did not.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
So it was like the lifestyle, the bells.
Oh, that was that rich king.
No, it was the potential
Prince nigga.
of falling in love. But I should have been in that before the marriage.
Got it.
Perhaps, you know, the dream that he sold me was, I want to date you in our marriage. Well, I had never heard of that before, and I was thinking, that's kind of clever. And we're going towards that way anyway, so, okay, we can accomplish what we were trying to accomplish sooner in a partnership. And a partnership is what I thought I was getting into. And then I got in there and then shit changed and switched, and it was like, who are you? And I'm sure he asked, who am I as well, you know what I mean? But if you have that love, that foundation, then you can weather a storm that you wouldn't necessarily weather had I would have just looked at him and said, this is not working out. I would have stayed a little longer had that been the
That's like that episode of Martin when
if that was the glue.
when Gina was the rich African dude concubine and shit. He ain't know what the fuck the concubine was.
About relationships with a man
or just yourself. It could be either or. Just a shortcoming you may have in relationships, something or faults, because the criticism is always, y'all never wrong, y'all never say sorry. Can you ever admit that you've done something wrong or something's a shortcoming in you?
I swear they got so many messages.
I have,
Somebody made them do this episode.
I've gotten better with this, but I still work on. I have very little patience, and so it causes me to react sometimes before I think things through.
Big turf ups and
So because of that, I have had arguments, very public arguments that have went nuts on the internet. I had an argument with Nikki Gilbert, which everybody saw, which was off the chain.
We didn't see
because
that.
Even if I was provoked, even if it was it was her fault or my fault, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. I am responsible for how I should have acted. And when I look back at that argument,
Is she talking about a
I'm
confrontation
almost
with
in,
another
like,
woman? What about, we talk about men right now?
because I could have handled that a lot
Damn,
better
so you can't think of
than
nothing.
saying the stuff that I said to her. So
What-
for me, I think that was, and we've made up.
Good. I was going to ask, is that it's like, have you gotten, even though you're admitting that
Damn,
today,
I already could tell
have you
by
found a
her
resolution?
diverting
just
this whole
actually
conversation
this
to a
past year, we
incident
saw
with
each
another
other.
woman.
That
She
happened a
she
long
is
time
probably
ago.
pretty
But
difficult.
we just recently saw each other
to
and we
talk
hugged it
to.
out because, you know, we talked about it before. 'Cause
Holy
I told her,
shit.
you know, God doesn't want us to be this way because we were friends. We were good friends.
Can I just interject this, Selena? To me, it seems like y'all would be like sisters.
Man, please tell me somebody.
Reminds me so
Please
much of
tell
like what
me.
I went through with like Lisa Ray. It's like when you're close to somebody and they like your sisters, like, do you have to go through something like that to fall apart to then, you know?
Is they gonna bring this back to their
You know,
relationships
and
with
see,
men?
that's the thing with you and Lisa Ray. You guys are probably so, well, not probably, y'all so strong in your mindset and in who you are. Sometimes you're alpha females. So you butt heads when you see a, you know, when you're in a predicament with another alpha female, and that's how me and Nikki were. I just didn't have the proper patience. I didn't handle that properly. So that is something that I have to live with. That it constantly pops up on the internet all the time. And I know people think it's funny and shit, but it's actually not funny to me, and I cringe at it every time I see it.
Oh wow!
Are you working on it now? Are you working on it?
Well, I don't do that now. That was like,
Is they for real?
I don't know. Maybe,
So Lisa, the only real one that's gonna come up here
14,
and
you know,
speak on,
and that's what these children don't
her
realize
shortcomings
is that once you
in
have a
relationships.
moment with someone and it's recorded, and especially if you're in the
I
public
guess they
eye,
would rather deal with
someone
the
puts your
aspect
name,
of difficult people
rolls
than
down of your
admitting
relationships,
faults
your experiences,
with they men.
news, things about you. That it's like, oh, we good.
Maybe I got this wrong.
Like,
Maybe it wasn't about men that they
So that's why I always try to
come
stress
clean
to
about.
people,
Maybe
try
they
to make good
just wanted to
choices
come clean
and not
about
put
how
everything so
fucked up their
public.
friendships is. I don't know.
So, Vivica, we got to get to you.
Maybe I had a different expectation of what this is. This is clearly not.
Touched on with Lisa Ray. I mean, that's why you guys saw me get emotional because, you know, like I said, she's like a baby sister to me, and sometimes she drives me bananas, and I've had to learn as to be a friend of another alpha female that I have to learn when it's like I can't fight with her. I have to just relax. I have to learn when it's like how I have to remember she's a woman.
Okay, so it sounds like Miss Claudia Jordan is the one that's about to reel it back in and spit some real shit. So let's see what she got to say.
It's like I kept putting off therapy, and I never did it. And I always thought, I'm strong, I got this, I don't need it. You know, being the typical strong Black woman, I don't need therapy. And I feel like that was a mistake because the way that it affected my self-esteem made me make bad decisions in my life, like letting people close to me that should have never even had my phone number. And that's my bad. That is my bad for just. I would not make people prove themselves to me. Like I'd be too busy trying to prove myself to them because my self-esteem was so low. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would date someone and I wouldn't like let him reveal who he is. I'm too busy trying to dispel all the negative things that you may have heard or you may think, oh, I'm not like that. And I don't have to do that shit no more. But I used to really think that I had to do that, and it really fucked me up and made me jump into things I shouldn't have been into, friendships with people that really were not even worth my freaking time. That, you know, the first sign of, you know, something that comes along and stab you in the back and put everything out there that they want and to just drag you.
Can I say this, Claudia? Is that you finding a place to walk that line of who you allow in and who you don't?
I feel like I had to get away from LA in the business for a while. Coming to Texas has been so amazing for me.
So I guess I got the whole impression of this video wrong. This shit didn't have nothing to do with really men. The title was correct. It was just the queens talking, admitting faults, and dealing with difficult people. They ain't really had too much to do with men. Lisa Ray, she had her little say in there where she admitted some shits as it pertained to relationships. But coming from where I was coming from the last video, it was a whole lot of stuff that was in that video that was directed towards how men and women is getting along or not getting along in relationships. And when I seen this, I jumped to a conclusion. I kind of expected them to maybe address some things that wasn't addressed as far as what they bring to the table in relationships. But hey, I guess they got more situations in dealing with difficult women than difficult men. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that's a plus for us, man. I don't know. If y'all haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll be back next time. It's the JMatt Show.